Okay.
All right.
Perfecto.
Yeah, it started.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for coming to our meeting again tonight. We are going to talk about the book Main Street Millionaire by Cody Sanchez, and we will have the honor to listen to the Frere Arun to present the book to us. After his presentation, everybody will shine in and ask question or give some contribution. Thank you. You can
Thank you.
start, Arun.
Yeah, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Well,
All right. I think,
we we are not seeing it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, we can
You
see
can
yeah,
now.
see
yeah. I
Mm.
think everyone should know this lady already. If she is not for her money, you might know her for her physique because she's nice looking. And when I noticed her, it was on YouTube that she was preaching that everyone could be millionaire because she's now millionaire, and that drew my attention until recently she wrote this book. I think it was in 2025. It's a brand new book. So I decided to
Oh,
add. Yeah, it is a very very
it's
brand
already
new.
on YouTube.
really.
Yeah. So I decided to suggest this book, and here we are. And what she's preaching here is, if I explain it, it will make more sense. So for her, she's wishing that we should go for boring, not, oh, is it a trend? Is it flashy things? No, just go for boring business, then you succeed. So why should we listen to her? She's a founder of contrarian thinking, which means that is against out of the box thinking, and she has more than 2 million followers. And I'm not sure whether, but I heard that she's even a PhD. So I'm not sure about that. She started as a journalist, and she ended up in finance, and she worked for Goldman Sachs, Vanguard, and a big company until one day she said, oh, why am I making money for others without thinking myself? So her first business that she bought was a laundromat. That's why they call her, most of the time, they call her the lady laundromat lady. And she said, yeah, it doesn't matter. She doesn't care if you call her that, but if there's money inside, she will be available. And what she's saying to us, and I think maybe Charlie is no longer part of that, but she's saying that your salary will never set you free. Your salary will never set you free. We had to think about that. We had to remember that. Otherwise, you will be another YouTube, another video that I put it on the platform today was he went far away and he said salary is a scam. For him, salary is a scam. You have to get out here. So, so what he's preaching here is to how can we get the financial independency? And for her, most what she's preaching is to go and buy business, not new business, because if you know what will normally happen to the new car, if you buy a new car, as soon as you get out of the dealership, it's almost 10% off already, losing the value. But now she's preaching us to buy technically a second-hand car or business that is already making profit. If something is good or making profit for the last 5 years, the probability that the same business will survive another 5 years is higher than if you start your business from scratch. Because if you start your business from scratch, probably they say that 60% of new starter just went for bankruptcy. So why not go for the one that survived that period and go and buy for it? And to the strategy that the word that she put it down to remember is rich. RICH. We will have a time to look into each of them. And you might say, oh, if I want to buy new business, I don't have money. But no, she's emphasizing that most of the time the owner will finance for you. Why? Because maybe the owner is already tired, he's planning to retire, and he will prefer to give you something and hoping to get every month like a retirement pension payment. So that's why he's holding the note. And by holding the note, it's much easier for you to acquire those businesses. And the first thing that she's mentioning here is the boomer time bomb. What is happening is that 10,000 baby boomers retire daily. 10,000. Imagine that some of them are part of the business, the Main
Wow.
Street business. What are they going to do with that? Probably that business give them more money to send their children to a higher business, to higher university, a prestigious university. When those children finish those university, they don't want to come back and do the laundromat. Oh, it's out. No, I'm more than that. So they don't want to take care of those business, but the parent don't want to leave the legacy just die that way. So they will prefer to give to someone who can hold that legacy for them. And maybe after 5 or 10 years, they will pass through there and say, oh, you see, that business belongs to me 5 years ago. That business belongs to me. They want that prestige that to go on, that heritage to go on. That's why it's a good idea to think, and in the sense that chances is advising us here. Most of the youngster right now, they will say, oh, I'm in a crypto, I'm in a trading, I'm in this. Why? Because it's more prestigious for them. It's kind of, but the boring, like mom and pop business, like a laundromat or like car wash, like accounting business that is on the main street. There's no that, how should I say, Facebook or Instagram prestige in those business, because it's kind of our grandparents were doing it. So it's not in fashion, it's not in the trend. So that's why they prefer to go to fast. But she is saying that a lot of millionaires are made in the main street than in crypto. If you go for crypto, you might see one person say, oh, I'm now a millionaire in crypto. But in reality, if you compare those who are millionaire in the main street millionaire, they are a low. The number are higher than the one that we will get in the crypto. So she's advising to go for the boring businesses. So the rich that I was talking about is RICH. So here she said to do that, you will do some research. And when you finish doing the research, don't forget to take into account your zone of genius. What I mean, if you are probably 9 to 5 worker as an accountant, it's going to be much easier for you to buy a business in accounting. Or if you are 9 to 5 housekeeper, it's going to be much easier for you if you want to buy a business in housekeeping or something like that, or cleaning company. So don't forget to take into account what you are you know already. There's an echo coming back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget to take that one. So she put some diagram and say what you know and your competency, and then in the middle here is where you buy your business. So maybe you know someone who can repair, or who is a plumber, or you know in marketing, and you like to talk to people. So all when you put all three together, in the middle here is where you buy those business. Don't just buy something and say, oh, I heard that my friend is making money into this such business, then I'll go on it without having the advantage of that business. So this is the research side. And the investment is where you invest, but don't tell yourself that, oh, I don't have money so I cannot invest. No, she advised finance, owner finance, previous owners financing, and or no money down financing or SBA financing. All this one is a strategy. They are strategy to just invest, and it's not going to be difficult for you. And when you get the investment down, don't forget to comment. And the success of this business is the operator. As Shaquille said, he said he has more than 100 businesses, but they're asking what is the advice that you could give to someone who want to do what you are doing. Say, don't forget, try to delegate, try to hire those who are smarter than you, and then you have your life easier. Try to hire those who are smarter than you, and you'll be. So that's the same thing that Cody Sanchez is saying here. Is saying that you have to hire operator, and when you hire that operator, don't be stingy on that operator. For her, she said minimum that business that she will buy or she will invest has to give at least 200,000 a year as a net profit, as a net profit. So by having 200,000, she's getting 100, at least 100, and give the remaining 100 as well to the operator. If it is 300, she might keep 180 and give 120 to the operator, knowing that the operator is getting 10,000 every month, which is a good salary compared to the environment where we are. That is already what people always say that, oh, 6 figures salary. So 6 figure salary can get you a good operator. And then harvest. Harvest means when you do that, don't stop on one business. Don't do one deal and say, oh, that's good for me. No, try to repeat as the other, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So that's what the strategy of rich means. So the research phases, you might say, oh, where can I get the information? No, try to be upfront. As she advised, she said anytime that she meets someone, she will tell that person, oh, by the way, I normally buy businesses. Oh, by the way, oh, when you see the Venmo challenge was, she was talking to her cleaner, the lady who normally come to her house and clean, and she realized that the lady just make maybe 95,000, and she promised to the lady, if I can bring 195,000 into your business, knowing that you have already 95, we'll deduct that 95,000 from the new amount, the new revenue, and if it is 100,000 remaining, can you give me at least 5%? And the lady said, oh, yeah, I will give you. Because she realized that, oh, I will have someone who is willing to do a marketing, try to get more client, more customer for me without asking me any payment at front. So it was win-win for both of them. So that's where she mentioned the fact that it's a Venmo challenge, and it's a really good strategy to buy business without buying it. But at the same time, when you are researching, she advised strongly against these 7 businesses. She said the restaurant, she said, is those who want to do it. They don't care if they are losing money or not, but they want to do it. That's fine for them. She doesn't advise. Hotel, if you have other businesses and you are using hotel as pay as a loss, because there's a depreciation that you take into account, and when that depreciation come to into all the other businesses, then you have good usage of the hotel. Otherwise, it's too complicated. She doesn't advise for the first comer to go to the hotel. Retail storefront. Oh, I have a Louis Vuitton store. I have this one. It's a little bit complicated. You have to be rich before you can go to that business. So she doesn't advise. Consulting is a key person risk. Why? Because if everyone knows the consultant firm with John Doe, and when you are buying and John Doe decided to quit, then you are in trouble. That's why she doesn't advise. Personal brand. Personal brand means that everyone knows that YouTube or that company with John Smith. If you buy it, how can you tell them now that it's no longer John Smith but it's Aaron Gibrela? They will not believe you. They will not trust the company anymore. So that's what is difficult for this one. And also, she advised against the FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, because Amazon control has all the cards, has all the cards. They can pull the rug under your teeth, under your feet without knowing. Because if you are selling a you are selling tea, a bag of tea, and they realize, or you are selling a bag, and they realize that, oh, you are making more profit. You are selling. They will just go to China and come order their brand and put another name on it and push it with the algorithm. They know how to do it, and then it will go first, and yours will might go into the second or third or fourth. So they can change, and also you don't have the customer who are buying the stuff from you. You don't have the information. Amazon still have them. So that's why and dry cleaning is more, she's advising against that. You might say, oh, why she love laundromat but she doesn't like dry cleaning. Dry cleaning need to use some chemicals which are very, very nocive for the health. That's why she doesn't have it. So when you are doing your research, taking into account what you know, but try to avoid these seven businesses. And the financing session. So the seller can carry financing. And we have the same strategy as well in real estate. When you see an owner who has an equity in the house, but they can no longer be able to pay, and you come to them and say, oh, I can arrange, I don't want your credit score to go down. I can help you to get this house into order, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they can help you. So everyone is winning here. Seller carry back financing. It can be as well that, oh, in the future, if I make any profit that I make, we want to share. I can share with you, something like that. Or equity partnership. And she put down that there are some deal that she made without putting anything down for the car wash acquisition. So it's very, very informative, and it seems like it's the missing link that we need to have to jump into the millionaire pool. We have all the knowledge right now to be a millionaire. And as I mentioned, is the operator that is very, very, very important for the success of this deal. because you cannot have 100 company and be in 100 different places. It's impossible. You are not God. So you need to have a good operator. Sometimes you can even change the name by saying that is a GM, general manager. By all those pompous name can retain a candidate for you. You say, I'm a GM of this new company, something like that. So he she's advising that it's better that you look for someone who had experience in that specific industry. Don't just pull someone from car wash to maybe laundromat or something that is not at all related to that. And the person is a part of the community. He can play the role of leadership. And red flag, don't pretend or don't think that you can do everything by yourself. You cannot do that. We have only 24 hours and we can only be in one place. So that's why she's advising not to. Maybe at the beginning, if you don't have enough money to pay the operator or you want to do it, you can start with one, but always think how you can get out of the business and put someone who manage it for you, and then you'll be roaming around and play at the beach. So here as well, she's advising that we had to think about how can we do self-service kiosk, because that one is an operator, but is a machine operation. So it's going to be there 24/7. And the subscription model, if you have a gym and they have to pay maybe $15 per month, if they are if they come or they don't come, your money is guaranteed. So she's advising for the subscription model. How can you change what you have, what the previous owner has, and how can you change it to subscription model? Yes, it's those things you have to think. And also she loved the digital marketing funnel. Why? Because if you create things, something like a website where you sell something like a PDF, downloading PDF is only one creation, but it's a multiple sales. When you create it once, you can duplicate it. Anyone coming to that website can just download it, and it's going to be the same effort. So she advised that one as well. And we have she doesn't want to be transparent with all the reader. She mentioned a lot of headaches as well that she encountered, because some of the operators were taking her money to go vacation. Some of the, so yeah, don't think that it's only in Africa that those things are happening. It's here as well. So what can you do to get away from it is, yes, leave them managing, but don't forget to double check. Don't forget to go and have a quick runabout and say, oh, what is going on? Oh, okay, we have 10,000, but we are buying a supply for 20,000. What is going on? If we have 10,000 in, and but the supply is more than what we are getting, something is definitely not right there. You have to investigate and see it. And she gave uh, several failure that a lady got into pizza business with a partner that she didn't know before. But all this one, I don't want to bother you with for all this detail. But what I like here is that, okay, I'm telling you that it's possible, but doesn't mean that it's just 100% guarantee that you succeed. No, she mentioned few failures that you can put it in your mind, knowing that, oh, it might happen. It might happen. But a lot of people might say, oh, she's just since she has money, she's using the operator to do that, to this. She said, no, it's not an exploitation. It's how 50-50, because she's bringing the money, creating the job in the environment, and and helping the business to sustain. Because if the retired person doesn't have any other way to keep that business, what will happen? The retired person will just close that business. And by closing that business, it means that all the employees, all the staff will be fired, will be terminated. So at least we are by going to this route, you are holding the community together. You are creating new jobs, and for her, as she said, wealth creation is not an exploitation. She refused that, and she's challenging us that within 90 days we can get into that ladder. So 90 days, she's advising that oh, you can start with 100 business, trying to locate and audit 50, make offer and close on one. So within 90 days, you can get onto this millionaire. If we want to use the fast lane option, you can get in within 9 days, you can get from slow lane to the fast lane and be millionaire. And what I like as well in the book is that she doesn't hide things. She didn't hide anything, and she put a resources that if you go here, you will see most of her how she managed things, deal evolution template, operator contract sample, a contrarian thinking, what books can you read, or a lot of is a Notion website that she wrote it. I think probably is not necessary for the book, but at least it was good that she shared with everyone so that we can use it. If someone wants to scan the QR code, I create this QR code so that anyone who scan it can go to this website, and it has a lot of free resources. On that, I finish, and before I give the floor to the question, this remind me about buying second-hand car, and how can you make more money by buying 1 or 2 years old cars than buying brand new. And also remind me about how can you get equity out of your house if you helping the old owner. On that, I finish and yield the floor to Sister Colombe.
Wow.
Thank
Ah,
you. Thank you, brother.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I really enjoy, and I love the way you do your PowerPoint with all these pictures. It's easy to
Yeah,
understand.
and don't forget we
Without
are
further ado, the floor is open.
yeah, let me put some jazz here, and we are ready to go to the beach, because when we have operator, we can go to beach and enjoy the beach.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good one. Yeah,
So
awesome.
if anyone wants to ship in,
I
it's
think
open.
Steve wants to talk first.
3 minutes per person.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to start if you allow me.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Thank you, Nasif, for the presentation. We know is your fasting period, and you spend that time with love to share this with us. And thank you very much. And also, since you're the one who is your share or mine,
Bye. I'm pushing it
since
back.
you're the one who suggests the book, I would like to thank you also for that. And this is like I open a book. If anyone get a chance, even if it's 1 hour on YouTube, it's 6 hours, but if you listen to 1 hour, she clearly mentioned that she's not writing the book to make money, like most of the people who teach us how to become rich, right? The some of the just additional takeaway. One of them, she said during the deal, the process of like owner financing or closing with a seller, if the seller is pressing and want to make things very fast, don't do it. You got to take it as a red flag that something might be fishy that you don't know. So to be aware of that, everything has to go slowly. You have to do your due diligence to make sure what he say is what you have on file. So to that also, we the people who don't know how to learn financial statement, we need to learn how to read financial statement if you want to go to into business, right? And also we have to know the people we are dealing with, especially we decide to have partner in the business that is bought. So you have to know the people you are dealing with. If you don't know them, you have hard time. What I don't agree with her is when she was quoting Charlie Munger, and she said the three things that make you fail are liquor, ladies, and leverage.
No,
I think those those three things are important for business, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
especially like liquor, when big deal is like sometimes it might be a restaurant, it might be food, it might be drink on the
Wow,
table, and
liquor.
sometimes
no,
when people
no,
drink that
no,
they're
no.
able
You
to do things
didn't
there.
get it. You didn't get it. Is in moderation is good, but when you go far,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, yeah.
not good. And then also in big business, sometimes you have to use lady to open doors, to
Eh,
figure out to get to where you want to get. And also the last one, leverage. Yeah, if you don't have leverage, it's kind of difficult to have your own money to do everything. It takes forever. So she suggests
Why are they getting the internet cut off and coming back?
mm. You can.
You keep cutting.
Mm.
So if another person want to go, maybe beyond.
I know Steve wants to speak.
Oh, okay, Steve.
No,
Steve, go
no,
for
no.
it.
No. I'm good. I'm good. Someone else
All
can
right,
take.
I can talk then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you for Aaron for the wonderful presentation. It was very, very interactive, our presentation.
Thank
So it gives me some ideas next time how I wanna present and stuff. Very interactive. You
you.
really engage us into your presentation and
now.
so on. So awesome. My when I was listening to the book at the beginning, she
Hello?
mentioned, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Okay.
we lost connection. Sorry, but it was the end. So thank you very much.
that's
Okay,
Ah.
okay.
so there was
Okay.
no question then.
No, no.
Okay, okay,
Just to
thank you.
remember, they say only 30% of the kids want to follow up. So that's it.
But the
Yeah,
three L's was it liquor, lady, and leverage?
yes,
Oh, it was. Ah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like they didn't mention everything because nowadays drug can put you down as well. If you love too much
Mm-hmm.
drugs, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. Crystal, you have the floor.
Okay.
Yes. So like I was saying at the beginning of the book,
Mm.
she mentioned you have to know what type of entrepreneur you want to be.
Mm-hmm,
Do you want to spend 30 hours in it? Do you want to just supervise
mm-hmm,
from far?
mm-hmm,
That is a very important decision to make from the get go. It's
mm-hmm,
true, it can change with time, but knowing where you are and how much time you want to dedicate it to something is very important.
mm-hmm,
If you're working still and you're within that transition, you need to know how to go about. So I think she looked at I think 5 or 3, I can't remember, types, and she talked about it at the beginning, and I thought that was very, very refreshing. The way she went about it, talking about it. Um, and another point is that I really appreciated in the book is you need to know exactly how what you want to put yourself into and how you want to get to your target. And in that she puts that you have to know yourself first. Like me, I'm in healthcare, and I was always thinking doing things outside, but then I thought about it again. I'm like, I'm in a domain that has a lot of potential. And myself, I already have a skill in it. My knowledge can be so um, important to it. So when she talked about know your skills, know where you come from, and then go for things that are aligned with yourself because that gives you an upper hand. It's true, you may find someone in another business that can mentor you type of and get you a little bit aligned or do partnership with you. If it's not like that and you want to start something completely new, you have to do your research way ahead. If that's the case. If not, I love the idea of aligning oneself with what we are already exposed to a little bit, and so on and so forth. So those are my two key points that I took from the book. So I thank you all, and I'll let someone else take on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you too.
Anyone else?
Maybe
Why not? Steve wanted to talk. Beyond Shirel. Is Fatu here today?
no, I haven't seen
Yeah,
her. Oh, she's there.
he's there. He's there.
Yeah, Fatu is.
I'm here. I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm listening. And um, okay, if nobody wants to go, I will just go. The book. I just want to go first to say thank you so much, Aaron, for that presentation. It was very, like Krista said, interactive, and your PowerPoint is just it's short and it's just detailed. Like you grasp every detail of things that we might have missed or may not have understood. Maybe we're on the rush. So the explanation really helped. And the book was really like informative. I think like her point got across because she was trying to inform and not trying to sell. So there's no jargon. It's just direct to the point, which myself realized like at one point I was researching to um buy the business, like she was saying. But most of the businesses that I research has a cap on it or like a price on it. Some of it from 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 50,000. But I got scared because I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can have that money. Like where in which business has already been successful. Those are the ones that I was not looking at. You have to know, this business actually can make profit. Like Trader Joe's was sold. The business where I work, he was like, Joe owned the business. And when he sold the business, he asked that his name should not be changed. So that's why it still goes as Trader Joe's because it was named after Joe himself. So even if like your business is branded, your brand become your name, you can also have certain percent, or you can have a share in that business, and that share could be your name. So they can buy all the business, but that business, your name will still be will still be there. And one of the things that one of the things I took for her is like, which is what we decided to do because we didn't want to borrow so much because going into your business is sometimes you got to be very tough and very like hardworking to get that money out. And it's also worrisome because you know that there's debt behind you. But like saving and investing wisely and also don't just depend on that income that you're creating. You have to have multiple income, multiple source of income, multiple kind of like ways to earn money. Because if you just go with that one business, if it doesn't make profit, here you go, you're going right back down. So like everybody's have already said a lot of the points that I had down, especially like knowing what type of business you want to go in. Like I'm a healthcare educator, but like I have spent so much time into retail that I know the ins and outs. I know what makes you successful in it. I know what not to do. I know who to hire and what not to hire. So even though, yeah, actually, even though like that is my field of study is health, I don't think it would be ideal for me to go with business in health just because I study it. But I have to go with business, something that I already have knowledge and I already have experience in. I think I will be more successful and more passionate about because I have still learned in that kind of field. So that was a good book. It was a good read, and her point was well taken. I yield, I yield to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Let,
you.
let me quickly go back
Thank you, Patrick.
to Fatu's point of view. Yes, especially when we are coming from Africa, we are so scared of debt. We are so scared of debt. But what is debt if you can have the debt being paid by your customer? You can have the debt being paid by the cash flow. So what she's advising here, if you make your analysis and you realize that, oh, okay, I had to pay 10,000, but beside that 10,000 that I'm paying back to the bank, I'm having another 40,000. It's like a caution because you are paying 10,000 to the bank, but still you have 30,000, and you can share 10,000 with the operator and keep 20,000, and 10,000 extra that you have there will be a caution for you to for the future. So don't be afraid of debt if the cash flow shows that you can pay it easily. That's my point. Because we are so, I mean, and that's the same point for what Robert Kiyosaki says, no, I don't care about the debt. If the cash flow shows that I can pay that debt, I don't care. So we had to take that one into consideration as well. And also, she points out that because she has knowledge in retail and healthcare, she will prefer those two businesses. Yes, that's good, but she's thinking the fact that she has to work in that business. What Sanchez or Cody is advising is to have an operator to do it so that you can repeat several times. Because if you think that you have to be in that field or you have to be in that business, then you are buying another job. You are buying another more than 9 to 5 now. It's no longer 9 to 5. It might be 7 to 11. It might be 7 to 11. So we have to pay attention to that detail. Is what I want to add to Fatu's intervention. Thank you.
Th- Thank you so much, Aaron. No taking. I know like we are afraid of uh loan. This is why I here today to like learn these things
Yeah.
that would clear at the path. Because what I know now, if I knew it then,
Yeah.
which was 3 years ago when I was researching, I wouldn't have been scared. I would have been pursuing how to get that loan
Hmm.
and then to go after that business. And also, like the last point you just made, that you don't have to work the business. There's no business that you're starting first. You're just gonna trust somebody to get there. You have to know the business. You have to operate the business. Now you can trust somebody to put there. Then you become a CEO and just labor. But I don't think I would take that advice that you just hire somebody. You just hire somebody to operate, your business
Yeah,
and your interests.
Fatu, that one is when you at the beginning, but if you have one, two business
Mm-hmm.
in two different cities, you mean you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna relocate in the city? No, right? At some point, the people who gonna rent it, they will rent it. You be the owner,
Yeah.
but you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Other than that, you won't have any vacation.
Yeah. And you might
Thank you.
have GM for this business one, business two, business three, and then all those three businesses they will report to another GM who has to control them. So in that way, you are another person is playing that role, but still you have to double check because as you know, trust but verify. Trust but verify.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Okay.
you, Fatu.
Yeah.
Uh, well, for myself, I think all the notes I put here, Arun went over them, like avoid deadly businesses, look for the one that are booming, look for the one that the owner wants to exit and you just take over, right? So a lot of the key point I put on my notes already discussed, and I really want to thank Arun for that. But one thing I want to add is that we are afraid of uh,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
jumping in,
Yeah.
right? That's the like Fatu said. Since we don't know what if it will work, we are afraid. So from this reading, I think the one thing that we need, me particularly, is the courage to and the comfort to go for the unknown, right? We must, we need that courage. Like she was a journalist, she was making a good money being a journalist, right? But she hated it. She doesn't like it. She's making money for someone else. She wants to make her own money. So that's a zeal that push her to leave everything and go look for a laundromat. That's what we lack sometimes. And thank you again for suggesting this book for us. And that is an eye opening for us as well. Thank you.
Thank
Th-
you.
th- th- Thank you. Thank you, Sister
Thank
Carol.
you.
But
Mhm.
you are not the only one. The author
Thank you.
already said that she was very, 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 very afraid when she signed her first deal. So you are not the only one. So what we have to
Right.
do is to have the courage to jump into that swimming pool. We are already near. We know how to swim. We know how, but if you don't get into it, you can never know how to swim. You can never know whether you know how to swim or not. So that's very, very important. But at the same time, it can be that the fact that you are afraid and everyone is to be afraid for the first deal, you can go into partnership. You can go into partnership, say,
Yeah.
okay, oh, I have this person or I trust this person, let's go into 50-50. And by going to 50-50, it means that if there's a loss, that loss as well will be 50-50 shared
Yeah.
instead of only me alone. And I brought my screen back to here, the Lindy effect. The Lindy effect means that if the business is already doing good for the last 10 years, the probability that that business will continue to do good the next 10 years is very, very high. So we have to look for those kind of business to jump in.
Oh
Okay.
well, thank you very much. We wouldn't even imagine that
Thank
this
you.
guy has not. has not eaten for the past 2 or 3 weeks, full of energy.
I just ate. I just ate. That's why
You just
I just ate.
oh yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, I really enjoy your presentation, and you brilliantly covered every key point of the book. I finished it. I didn't know how interesting the book was, and I started late, but I burned the midnight, you know, burn and oil to finish it, and even restarted it again. This is a very good book. The first point that I will everything has already been said. To be honest, I just want to emphasize on a few things that Christelle mentioned, Fatu, and thank you to have tried to clarify it a little bit. We should be clear about what we want to do. The way I understood the book is, yes, you can start with something you are comfortable with so that it gives you more leverage. However, you should keep in mind you are not going to buy another a job. You are not going to be the operator, but you want to be the business owner. Therefore, you don't necessarily have to be able to run it, or you don't necessarily have to take an operation that you master, but you want to have a knowledge of it to be able to understand and then make the right decision. Okay, that is it. So if she has the healthcare training and she's in retail but believes she can work in retail, it could be anywhere. And I want to branch to the point that she said, yeah, look at all your associates. When I was reading it, I thought of, okay, who are the people that I deal with? The key people that I deal with are people who sell spare, parts. And I say, okay, she said retail, I should avoid. I said, okay, fine. Oh, I do not have a big establishment, a cleaner, but I do have people who come and then they collect the dumpster all the time. People who come and collect, oil that we change and so on. And I said, okay, I was making the list of associates that I have. Okay, but she got to a point where she said, yes, you call your house cleaner, the housekeeping lady, and then you give her a deal. She has no idea about, a social media. She doesn't have a website. She doesn't have anything. You can help her move her business from a small scale to a bigger scale, and then give her a little bit of freedom. At the same time, increase her income by making income. So it means that we may not necessarily be in cleaning, but still invest in cleaning or purchase cleaning business because we have an idea of how to do marketing. You get what I mean? So we could do almost anything. I thought about my, other people I deal with. I say, okay, accountants and so on. Yes, we can look at people we deal with and then be able to start, introducing ourselves differently by first of all creating our own, pitch point or our pitch phrase, how we can present ourselves as business, somebody who buy businesses. If we can have a very nice, that is what I'm giving myself a duty to do. Create a very nice and short, very concise and but compelling a introduction to introduce myself to anyone as somebody who buy business. That would be a very good point. And one thing that is so interesting is that how even successful businesses, we talked about it last time, that you have to have exit how do they say it, how do we have to have a plan to exit the business, or I forgot the phrase that is normally used, how we want to finish the exit strategy.
Yeah, there's it. Strategy.
Exit strategy. So most people do not have clear exit strategy. And when they get to a point when they don't have a successor, or when they don't have anyone who is really a defined success who conveys them as well that their interests, all the interests that they care about the business are going to be saved or kept. They are open to sell without going for it, and you could open the door for them to start the conversation and lead them to it. So we will get to that. But another thing that I love about what she said at one point, when she said that she has to invest in the male boss, and went to somebody who is doing it very well, offered to even pay $10,000, and then work for 2 weeks, help the person create her SOP, I mean the standard
She, she,
operation.
she was not the one.
She wasn't
She's
the one,
no,
another one.
she's
Okay,
she's reporting another.
that person.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means that we can go, pardon? Which means that we can go into businesses. As I always said, I've already read that from other, and I advise people every time, whenever you say you want to do something, you don't know how to start it, just go and offer your services, even free of charge, to someone, and then do it for a few months, few years, if necessary, get the expertise, and then launch your own. So that point was so important. That lady, not only she offers her services, she didn't get paid, but she paid and also helped the one that she was helping to improve her own the person's business, in order to have the necessary knowledge, and then promise not to compete, and went and replicate it somewhere completely outside. It is a great way to do things, by learning and also trying to see if it is something that I'm going to be comfortable with to do before you jump in head and toe. So it's a very good book, very full of knowledge, resource book, as Colomb also said, and we could make good use of it by start doing something different than working and so on.
I think it's a good book as well for us, as we have Brossy Stunting, that could
Yeah.
give us some idea. Instead of saying that we had to buy real estate, we can look into that, because now is more like, as I always compare, why should you go and buy a brand new car and have 20%, which here is mean that you can bankruptcy your new startup, instead of buying something that is already 20 years or 30 years going on with profit. Then you just jump in, and the first day that you jump in, you are making profit already, instead of waiting for another
Yeah.
6 or 1 year.
Yeah.
Beyond, you want to say something?
All right. Guess I'll say something. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. First, I want to thank Arun for the great presentation.
Thank you.
And I learned the book is that the business is an enormous field of metaphorical landmines, and knowing and maneuvering around them is key to attain success in it. And another one part of the presentation got me thinking. But over the years, housing and rent, the demands of housing and rent are beginning to rise more and more. What do we do about it?
Huh? Follow.
Thank you.
Was there a question?
Yeah, it was a question.
Okay, Shira wants to answer.
Okay. Hello.
hold on.
Oops. Okay. Is the camera on? Am I here?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and start. Okay.
Okay. Well, y'all can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. I want to thank Boom for the presentation. First, I'll answer Bion's question. So the costs of everything will always be rising. So you shouldn't let that be a thing that stops you from just living life, doing things. Because no matter what you do, the price will go up because of inflation, right? So you just have to bite the bullet and start, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be in the future. So just don't ever let that be a factor to stop you. because that is a factor of the economy you cannot control no matter how hard you try. And second, just talking about the book and everything, I do like the emphasis on like focusing on the not flashy parts of the economy, the day by day, the small businesses that like keep everything running. That's where a lot of the money is, right? A lot of those small business, if a business is able to stay afloat for like 20 plus years, they're doing something right? And they're probably doing something right that you don't have time to figure out if you start your own business.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea of like investing in small businesses that have already been around for a long time is a really good idea, and I like that. And I think that if you have the capital, then yeah, you should do what the author talks about and like try to start expanding your influence. And the way you make a lot of money is just by having a lot of these small businesses under your ownership, especially because if you have the capital from a previous business, you can use that to get into other businesses that